ISE 2019 with Scott Barella from Ames. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Crazy thing.
Yep.
We just did a story on you on AV Week.
Wow.
Talking about this new initiative. So first, if somebody hasn't listened to my show or hasn't read anything about Ames, briefly, what is Ames?
Well, Ames is a group that's composed of 101 members, mainly in the broadcast and community, comprised of both users and vendors, equipment manufacturers. And over the past 3.5 years, we were committed to building a standard that was open to everyone, mainly for the broadcast use, although we do sort of the same things that AV. In fact, it's curious because the AV industry began off the same standards that broadcast had way back when it was analog.
Yeah.
When it became SDI, they break some of those standards off, and then we started to diverge. The idea behind Ames coming here was the same idea that we came to the broadcasters with, and the thinking here was fairly simple. The idea was, gee, if we've already built the standard and it's so thorough, why wouldn't it work for the pro AV industry where this standard is free?
Okay, let's kind of break that down a little bit.
Yeah.
The standard is for what?
The standard is for audio and for video. We use the SMPTE, Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers, ST 2110, also referred to as 2110. That standard dictates how the video flows over the IP network. It also, we use the AES 67 audio standard, and that's the audio flow over there. We also use metadata, for those of you who may not know that fancy term. That is the data that goes with those two streams. For example, closed captioning, automatic flag, or description, and maybe time code. Some of the things that we've carried traditionally over the VANC lines in video, where they're useful in the pro AV markets. So all those pieces and parts that have been used in both audio and video in almost any form can be used here in the pro AV markets. Now, the pro AV markets traditionally use compression, and in our standard we address that in 2110-22. There's a level of different pieces and parts that make up the standard, but this part would apply to the pro AV market, where they can use any number of different compression techniques, MPEG, JPEG, you name it. And we wanted to make sure they were aware that there are options that are very specific and useful for pro AV with no royalties, no entry fee, and they can use and collaborate just as we did in the professional markets.
So let's kind of delve into this, because there are several, let's call them privately held standards.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
There are also a couple of competing open source standards as well.
Like what?
Like the IEEE and the AVNU Alliance.
Oh, yes.
You know, so there are, a couple people are already working on.
That's correct.
You know, open source AV over IP.
Uh-huh.
Where does Ames fit in all this crowded market?
Well, while AVB is a standard that was tried in the professional markets and didn't achieve much success, we basically started all over from scratch from those that did participate in into that standard, and we came up with SMPTE 2110 as a result of all the feedback that we had, not only for the Video Services Forum, but from advocate groups like the Joint Task Force for Network Media, JTNM. And we all collaborated on the standard that everybody, the feature sets and so forth that they wanted it to work off of. When we look at this market, everybody kind of does their own thing, and that's fine until you start to try to interoperate between each other. And that's where the power of an open standard becomes. So that if you want to use your video and audio and somebody else makes a similar device or whatever, you can interop with that device, and that's really the power of a collaborated open standard.
Okay.
And it's much in the same vein as AVNU and some others, but this one is very popular among the professional organizations. We think it's flexible enough for the use in here.
Important question for systems integrators here as well as in North America. Product development.
Yep.
Are there any companies already developing products?
We have 101 members within the Alliance for IP Media Solutions. And of those, a good majority of them are vendors. I would say the last interrupt that we did, we have over 80 vendors that prove the fact that they could send audio to another manufacturer's receiver and vice versa, and we could also do that with the AES 67 audio and metadata, closed captioning, etc. So we know it's interoperable, and we know that many manufacturers are building product, including ourselves at PESA, and that goes without saying that there are many uses. In fact, PESA found a Pro AV application in KVM, so we're building something that I think is very, very popular here at the show, KVM technology, and ours is unique in the fact that we use the open 2110 standard.
Okay.
So other vendors could actually participate in this ecosystem.
But to be specific, currently, right at this moment, there is not a product on the market, or there is with
There
PESA?
is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying 82 vendors are showing their products.
So they are showing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So mainly in the professional industries,
Okay.
but there are a lot of our companies, such as ourselves,
Yeah.
that are showing the same product that we showed in the broadcast side that we show on the Pro AV side.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to find out more about AIMS or about the standard, how do they do that?
Yep. They go to aimsalliance.org. And they can look us up on the web as Ames Media, and they'll find a link, and away we go. They can join us and collaborate, which is what we're really kind of after. And we found that 101 companies, advocating a common standard brings a lot of creative juices and engineering flow. So we're hoping the same thing happens at Pro AV.
Very good. I appreciate it.
You bet.
For more information about us, more information about AVNation, more video from ISE, go by the website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.